Hi guys, it's Sam. Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I have a really exciting video, and this is probably one of my favorite videos ever, and that is a reflection on 2022 and how to make 2023 the best year yet. I think it's a really good idea to post these videos a little earlier, which is why I am, because I just feel like having at least a month to get my mind in the right mindset before actually starting the new year really did help me last year. So with all that being said, I want to give credit to Fernanda Ramirez for giving me this video idea. I saw her post it back in 2021, I believe, and it really inspired me, and I did it in 2021 and it made my year so much better. So then I posted a video on it in 2022, and let me tell you, it was a game changer. Actually having everything written out and kind of reflecting to myself so I can hear myself really allowed me to go back and look on it this year and reward myself for what I did right, and also be a little hard on myself for what I did wrong, but not too hard. And it really just had me in a really good mindset to stay motivated. So credit to her. I'll have her videos linked down below because she did inspire me to make this video. But with all that being said, I am going to first do a overview of 2022. So 2022 has been a really good year for me, but also a very hard year for me, and I'm going to get into why. When I do this, I like to break down my overview into certain sections. So first thing I like to do is I like to reflect on my year as a whole. So right now I would tell you that my year in a whole was actually very good, but when I break it down into school, work, friends, family, and personal, there are a few things in there that I'm happy about, and then there's a few things in there that I would like to change for 2023. So first things first that I would recommend doing is reviewing your year and allowing yourself to be very, very detailed about this list. So I'm going to give you guys an example by telling you my list. So first things first, I want to start with school. School was something that was very, very hard for me. If you don't know, I was an accounting major, and I actually got a job in accounting, and I work in a big 4 company now, and I like to always tell myself that I'm proud of myself, because if I didn't go through that much school, I wouldn't be where I am today. And even if I somehow was, I would have no idea what was going on. So I like to always allow myself to remember that there is a really good benefit to being proud of yourself and giving yourself credit for your accomplishments, which I feel like a lot of people don't do. And if you are one of those people, it is completely okay, but please do not rule out what you do right. Give yourself compliments, allow yourself to be proud of yourself, especially if it's something that's hard for you, and reward yourself for the good that you do. So going back to school, I graduated college, and that was one of my biggest accomplishments. I always knew that I would be able to accomplish graduating college. I just didn't know what it would actually feel like, and it was one of the most surreal moments of my life. I really, really enjoyed it, and I had so much fun, and it just made me feel like all of my hard work paid off. So with that being said, school was definitely a success in 2022. I met a lot of new people in school that I am still very close with, and I have relationships with out of school, which is amazing. I have my old roommate who is still one of my really good friends, and just people that I met towards the end of the year that are still in my life that I'm very, very happy about. So like I said, school I would say was very good. Now going into friends. So for friends, I have some of the best friends in the world right now. I hang out with them almost every single day, and they truthfully make me feel so happy. So friends, I would again say, is a very good thing that happened to me in 2022, as well as meeting new people. Like I said, I did meet new friends and I did meet new people, and I met my boyfriend now, and it's actually funny because we started off as friends. But with all that being said, I would say friends is a very good thing for me that happened in 2022, and really something that I needed. And I had people from 2021 who were still in my life in 2022 and still are now, and then I met new people, and just kind of that balance really did help me appreciate more things, and again, learn to appreciate the little things, learn to appreciate every moment that I spent with them, and it makes me very grateful. Now moving on to family. In my video in 2021, I did let you guys know that I just lost my grandpa, and even though it's been a year, it is something that still is very, very hard for me. Overall, I don't want to get too into how I was feeling just because it's a little personal, but I do have some personal family stuff and some personal feelings about everything that happened with my grandpa, and I do really miss him. So that was definitely something that was really hard on me and not the best this year. Next, we're going to move on to work. Now for work, I want to take a minute and just say that I'm proud of myself, but let me tell you guys, it's been hard. It's been really hard just to kind of allow myself to understand that new change is going to be hard and something that you're not used to is going to be difficult no matter how hard the task may be. Now, what I mean by this is when I first started my job, I knew that working a 9-to-6 job was going to be hard. I knew that doing accounting every day was going to be very hard, especially in the real world, because it was not something I was used to. But I didn't expect it to be this hard, and it has stressed me out way too much, and it kind of took a toll on me going to the gym and everything like that. So I really try to allow myself to just take it one day at a time, but realize that this is something that is difficult for me and that I'm still getting used to, because sometimes I do work very late hours, and just knowing that is really hard for me. But allowing myself to be proud of what I've done, be proud of the things I've already accomplished with my job, and realize that there's going to be so many more things that may be hard, but they will get easier, really does help me. So for my job, I would say I'm proud of myself for being able to get the job, but there is work that I need to do in order to learn how to balance time better with my job, and also just get used to what I'm actually doing. Because sometimes I work from like 9 to 11 p.m. at night, and it's very hard because then I won't be able to go to the gym, or I'll have to cancel something because I have to put my job first, which is obviously something that I need to transition into. And I don't think I transitioned into it the right way, but hopefully I'll be able to fix that in the new year. Next things next, I have some personal things that I want to talk about. So in my last video, I said that I want to go to the gym at least 4 times a week. I'm not going to lie, I did not do this. In the beginning of the year, up until I would say around June, I did this consistently. I went to the gym every single day. It was something that I just really felt helped my mind and helped me get into the right mindset. And then after June came, I kind of just wanted to enjoy my summer. You know, it was gonna be my last summer before actually working a real-time job that I had to put all my focus into. So I traveled a lot. I went to Florida. I didn't work out as consistently as I should have. And then once my job started, I didn't work out at all because I got so stressed out and didn't have time to work out. So that is something that I definitely want to fix this year. I want to be able to go to the gym more and just stick to it, which I am fixing now. But like I said, that goes back into my other tip from before, which is to allow yourself a month to get used to this before 2023 actually starts. So you can start off 2023 exactly the way you want to. Now, next things next, for personal goals, I also wanted to just be able to create more healthy habits for myself. If you don't know, I'm going to be very transparent here. I am someone who does have PCOS, and it affects me on a very 6-month basis. That is not what it's going to be like for everyone. That's just what happens for me in my personal body. Before I get any further, I want to say I'm not certified in what I'm talking about. This is my personal experience with what happened to me, but it's something that really affects me, and it's something that I have to learn more about. So even though I have a little idea on how to fix certain things that I'm not happy about, I have to actually deeper into the healthy habits that will allow me to fix them. So that is something that happened to me personally in 2022 that I want to fix for 2023. With all that being said, I have a huge list of other personal things that I want to work on, but they're a little too personal and I don't want to get into it in this video. Just know that there is more of a list. I really like to examine what I could do better and what I did great in 2022 and keep that the same for 2023, and then fix what I can do better for 2023. Now, with that being said, I'm going to go into the next thing that I like to do, and that is talk about goals. Goals is something that I think is very beneficial, but it is only beneficial if you are willing to put the work in. When I say this, I mean you can have a goal, but if you never start, you will never succeed. So what I mean by this is right now I want you to write down in the comments 5 things that you want to happen in 2023. Whether it's traveling, whether it's personal, whether it's with friends, whether it's with a relationship, whatever it may be, I want you to write down 5 goals. I also want you to write down 5 things that you are proud of yourself for. Because when you set a goal, it is a really good mindset to also allow yourself that you are proud of the accomplishments that you made so far, so that you don't feel like there's so much you have to do. It is also scientifically proven that when you write down your goal, it is more likely to come true. Personally, I think that that is because it allows us to visualizing it and making it come true, and it's also such a satisfying feeling when I can check off that my goal is completed. So goals is something that is very important. I think they are very healthy to an extent, as long as you allow yourself to have that balance. Something I want to focus on in 2023 is balance. I think it's very important to have fun, but I also think it's very important to work on ourselves. So I think just having that balance of having fun, working on yourself, and still allowing yourself to do what you want to do, but doing it in a way that will allow you to reach your goal is something that I really want to work on, because when you have balance, things just start to go a certain way and it works out for the better. Next thing I want to talk about is manifestation and affirmation. Now, I know everyone is not going to believe in this, and that's completely okay. I will have timestamps linked down below that you guys can skip to if you don't want to listen to this part. But if you do and you are someone who believes in it, I am someone who loves waking up every single morning and saying affirmations. If you don't know what affirmations are, they are basically positive sayings that you state in the present tense. So what I mean by this, instead of saying, I wish I was able to wake up at 4 a.m. and work out, I would say, I wake up every single morning at 4 a.m. and I work out and I have the best day. I am talking as if it is already mine. Now, when I say this, it's basically allowing my mind to understand that this is already mine, therefore I'm going to do it. So for example, when I was really sick, I used to say, I am healthy, I am wealthy, I am protected. Saying these things allowed my mind to realize that I am in control of what happens. Now, when I say this, I do not mean I am in control of what happens to me, because I'm not. I am in control of my reaction to getting PCOS. I am in control of my reaction to getting a cold. I am in control of my reaction of failing a test. I am in control of these things. Am I in control of actually getting sick? No. Am I in control of going back in time and fixing what I did on the test wrong? No. But can I fix my reaction to have a more positive mindset? Yes. So what I mean by this, instead of looking at a test and saying, oh my gosh, I failed this test, now I'm gonna fail the semester. Instead of doing that, I'm going to look at it rationally and I'm going to say, oh my gosh, I failed this test, I made a mistake. What can I do better next time? There's no reason in going back and being so hard on yourself, because you can't fix it. You can fix your reaction and you can fix what happens in the future, but you can't fix that particular test. So what I mean by this is just say positive things, because when we state the positive, positive comes to us. So when you state something positive, you attract positive. When we state something negative, you actually do attract negative. So that's why I like to say positive affirmations. I like to say them 3 times a day: morning, lunch, and nighttime. So if I wake up at 9 a.m., I'll say it right when I wake up, I'll say it at lunchtime when I have a break from work, and I will say it right before I go to bed. This really does help. Now, manifestation, something I like to do is journal. Journaling is something that has brought me such a long way, because I literally write down things that I want, again, in the present tense, being able to say, I have this, I have this. I'm so thankful and grateful now that I have a new puppy. Whatever it may be, if you state it in the present tense and you describe it to the T of what you want, it will be yours as long as you put the action into it. I do want to say that none of this will happen if you do not put the action into it. You do obviously need to act in that matter, but saying those things will allow you to act in that matter because you will already think that it's yours. Next thing that I want to talk about is resolutions. I think that resolutions are very healthy to have, just like goals, but I think that it only works if you are determined to see your goal. Resolutions and goals go very hand in hand together, but the difference is that I feel like resolutions are some things that people will say in the beginning of the year, and as the year goes by, slowly and slowly, it will just start to wear off. Obviously, this is fine, but it's really, really beneficial if we try to keep ourselves accountable. So whether you have 10 habits that you want to change in 2023 or whatever it may be, as long as you allow yourself to have that balance, kind of like an 80-20 rule, you will be able to keep these resolutions. What do I mean by this? I mean, listen to your body. For example, if one of my resolutions is to have a better attitude when I don't succeed a PR that I want to hit in the gym, what I would do is, instead of reacting so upset at myself for not hitting that PR, I would allow myself to understand that I'm not ready to hit the PR yet, and then also allow myself to understand that sometimes it's okay to fail. When we fail, we're actually that much closer to success. So what I mean by the 80-20 rule is 80% of the time, try to listen to your resolution, whatever it may be. It could be with health, it could be with fitness, it could be with sports, it could be with school, it could be with work, it could be with personal stuff, it could be with relationships, friendships, family, whatever it may be. Listen to it 80% of the time. 20% of the time, because there is going to be times of doubt, there is going to be times of failure, there is going to be times where you feel like you need a break. Give yourself that break. Listening to your body will actually allow you to perform better with your resolutions the next day. So when I say give yourself a break, give yourself a break 20% of the time. 80% of the time, yes, sometimes we need to push ourselves, but allow yourself to have that break when you need it, and it'll help your resolutions just stay throughout the year. Lack of motivation is something that a lot of people do go through, me myself, and it's just really a good idea to allow yourself to have that rest time in order to perform better the next day. Now, the last thing I want to talk about is gratitude. Once you get all of these things, and even leading up to getting them, it is so important to be grateful for the things that you have. Now, this goes with journaling, but you can put this into a journal and every single day just say 3 things that you're grateful for. I promise this goes a long way and it changes your mindset. When I say your mindset means everything, it really does. If you allow yourself to believe that you are worthy and you change your mindset to positive, you will slowly start to see that everything will go in your favor. Now, what do I mean by this? Simply saying, I'm so happy and grateful now that everything works out in my favor will take you a long way because your mind will learn to believe that. I actually had an experience with this in 2021. I got in a car accident, and after that I was like, you know what, I'm going to fix everything that I don't like right now. I fixed everything. Yes, it took time, but I was patient with it. That is another thing. Please be patient with your goals and know that even a little bit of progress is still progress. And also, when you go into doubt, remember why you started. The why is so important. Why did you start this goal? Why did you want it? Ask yourself those questions and it will help a long way. And then after you have that reflection, because it's really important to reflect, allow yourself to thank the universe, thank yourself, thank whoever may have helped you get to that point. Literally just say, I am grateful for my family, I am grateful for my friends, I am grateful for my dog. It could be big things or it could be little things. It could be, I'm so happy and grateful now that I put my Christmas tree up, or now that I got an A on this test. It could literally be anything, but once a day, just list 3 things that you're grateful for, and I promise it'll help so much, especially with your mindset. So the big question is, how do you make 2023 the best year? You change your mindset. Mindset is everything, and you are capable of doing anything as long as you believe that you are capable of doing it. You can want to do anything, and if you don't have a positive mindset, it will take you so much longer. But if you go into something with a positive mindset and realize that you are in control, especially of your reaction, what you are looking for will come so much faster. So with all that being said, remember to comment those 5 things that you want in the next year, and also 5 things that you are proud of yourself for down below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you really soon in my next video. Bye guys.